What's good, YouTube? Fight fans all over the world. It's your boy, Real Talk Boxing. I'm back at you again. Man, what are we going to do about Terence Crawford? His situation, man, the welterweight division. Now, the welterweight division is still very, very stacked. The welterweight division isn't a young man's division. I believe all the top fighters are 30 plus. And Terence Crawford is 33 years old as we speak, and still in his prime, but he's not getting any younger. He's not getting any younger. And for you younger guys or you younger people like that who don't know, Terence Crawford's age is when things started to change. When I was 34, that's when things started to change within my body and my physicality. So, you know, we need to have these mega fights happen soon. I'm talking about in the next 2 to 3 years. I think very, very soon. Now, you have some fighters who've had longevity in the sport. Bernard Hopkins being one of them. Manny Pacquiao, who's still actually one of the top welterweights out there. These guys are fighting past their prime, or in Bernard Hopkins' case, fought past his prime. And Manny Pacquiao is actually still fighting past his prime. So Terence Crawford only has a certain amount of time. I know a lot of things are hindered because of who his promoter is as of right now, and that's Bob Arum. And Bob doesn't seem like he's willing to stick his neck out there for Terence Crawford. The only fight I think he wants to see Crawford in is against Earl Spence Jr., which makes sense, but Spence says 60-40 or nothing. And another fight that I would love to see Terence Crawford in is against Sean Porter, but Bob Arum doesn't want to pay Sean Porter but $1 million. Now, you know, I believe ESPN bags Top Rank and Bob Arum, so I'm pretty sure they have more than $1 million to give Porter. So I just don't understand what's going on, man. I mean, I do understand the complete aspect of it, which is money. And Bob Arum has said that he's lost his butt on certain fights, and he's just not willing to stick his neck out there anymore, especially for Terence Crawford. Now, Mikey Garcia is willing to fight Terence Crawford, but can we really call Mikey Garcia a welterweight? His last 2 fights were at welterweight. I believe his last fight was against Jesse Vargas at welterweight. And then you have him and Earl Spence. He beat Jesse Vargas, but he lost against the bigger, stronger Earl Spence. But Mikey Garcia is a heck of a fighter who still holds some relevance in the boxing world. I mean, he's probably walking around at middleweight, super middleweight right now. He's pretty big, but he's willing to fight. And there's not that many. Well, there used to be not many PBC fighters willing to fight Crawford, but you know, you got Sean Porter, and then there's another, I think, Ortiz Jr., who's the number one. I think he's the number 1 contender for the WBO. He's willing to fight, but you know, Porter got to have more than $1 million, and how much money is he going to make fighting Ortiz Jr.? I believe that's his name. If I'm wrong, I'll comment somewhere here. So if you don't see anything pop up here, then I was right. I just might go ahead and put his name up anyway. But yo, listen, we have to start making these fights, and it's not, a lot of times it's not the fighter's fault. I mean, a lot of times we blame the fighters, but Crawford, I gotta say, man, if you're the pound for pound best welterweight in the world, and in a lot of people's opinion you are, and in my opinion you are, I believe you are, then fight 60-40. You know, take the fight, so the next fight you can call the shots. You know what I'm saying? So if you're the best, like I believe you is, and many people around the world, then, you know, go ahead and take that fight. You know, there's just light at the end of the tunnel. You know, sometimes we have to sacrifice and take the lower cut in order to see, you actually gain that light at the end of the tunnel. You know what I'm saying? So I just, the top welterweights need to fight the top welterweights. Now, my top welterweights, I'm going to say my top 4, and a lot of you are not going to agree with this. My top welterweights is number 1, Terence Crawford. Number 2, Sean Porter. Number 3, Manny Pacquiao. And then number 4, Earl Spence Jr. A lot of people think Earl Spence is on top, and at one point, I did too. But I'm not seeing, he has a tool belt, but I only see 1 or 2 tools in that tool belt. I don't see a buttload like I do Crawford. You know what I'm saying? He just has so many levels. And we saw boxing ability, in my opinion, once from Earl Spence, and people are going to disagree with that also, but this is just my opinion. You know, I judge engaged fighters how I judge engage them. I mean, it's just my opinion. I just think Crawford is the man right now. He can do it all. He can do it all, and I believe Porter has more dog than any other welterweights. And I believe a fight between Porter and Crawford would be an immaculate fight. I'm talking about fireworks, man. Fireworks. And I think that should be his next fight, or Earl Spence. One or the other, and then fight Manny later. Because that's the biggest money fight he's going to get. That's the biggest money fight he's going to get is against Manny Pacquiao. And that's any welterweight at that matter. So, man, what are we to do with Crawford and his situation in the welterweight division? I mean, should they negotiate with Mikey Garcia? Should that fight happen? I honestly don't want to see that. I mean, like I said, Mikey Garcia you ain't going to get him out of there. The dude is top notch. And Mikey Garcia is a fighter who doesn't duck or is not afraid of any fighter. Mikey's like, who is he? Okay. How much can I get? I don't, that's not really, can we go up? We can go up? Okay, make the fight. He's just not afraid. He's like, whatever, man. Let's just get in there. And I love that about Mikey Garcia. He does not care. And he proved that when he fought Earl Spence. And he lasted 12 rounds, even though it was unanimous. I believe it was unanimous decision. But in any event, he got beat by the bigger, stronger fighter. And I think that Terence Crawford would do him a little bit worse than Earl Spence. So I don't want to see that fight. I want to see Crawford fight the true top not heavyweight, but top welterweights in the division. Because it's stacked. But it's not a young man's division. Now, the lightweight division that's a different story. It's a bunch of young bucks in there. The lightweight division are full of young bucks, man. 20 plus. So that's a young man's division. Welterweight, not so much. But I want to see these fights happen. I want to see them happen starting this year, which may or may not be. But, you know, what do you guys think? Comment down below and let me know. As always, respect all, fear none. God bless till the next time. Real Talk Boxing. We out.